idea. This is your idea.
Remind them, I'm going to throw a monkey quick gambit. I'm down. Come on, bro.
This is why I play RPG.
Oh, great. Now George and I are the same rank, and Donnie, you and Brock leveled up. That's not fair. We were in the same game.
More money. Oh, and by the way, Black Ops 4 is going to be way easier to stay alive, so don't worry about it. That is true. You have to wait out these type of problems. You'll feel plus pretty tough, but it'll keep you alive. But yeah, I'm down. I'll talk to you. Gotta get back involved in it's free. You should try it out, bro.
This game is never worse.
Trouble in New York? Trouble in New York. I do not know. The funny part is, you take a look at the New York Rangers and you dive into their recent results, and actually they're looking pretty good. I would say that this is a strong showing for any hockey team, taking the Washington Capitals down 7-3. Big shout out over to the Rangers for doing this, and big shout out over to my guy, Taylor Radish. He scored 3 points yesterday. His advantage added 2 points. Schneider, Gate Perron, Varlamova, and Scott Morrow each with a point. And then JT Miller wasn't playing. So, there you go. More on JT and his situation in Vancouver later in today's show, though. I wanted to talk about the top-paid superstar in New York, Artemi Panarin. And what Frank Saravalli went out there and spoke about in regards to the latest on Panarin trade talk, and whether or not we could see a move in particular over to the Central Division. Just tossing a name out there. But Artemi Panarin is 34 years old. He's making $11.6 million a year. One of the highest paid winners in the National Hockey League, right-handed left-wing guy, 5'11", 176. Well, understand the story of Artemi Panarin. He made his NHL debut in 2015-16 alongside Connor McDavid. McDavid got his collarbone injured and ended up only playing in half the year. It's why Artemi Panarin, who had an inferior point per game number to McDavid, ran away with the Calder because he technically did have the best season, and despite the fact that he was 5 years older than Connor. But it has been all gas, no brakes for Artemi Panarin. You take a look at all of the seasons he has had since then. They have all been near or above the status. I mean, even at the beginning of this season, we were all dogging on Artemi Panarin because, oh yeah, this guy sucks. Look at him, he's only got 2 points in his first 6 games. And then, okay, he got 5 points in his 2 games, which against Montreal and Minnesota. And then it went torturous again for another few weeks. So this opening stint of Panarin's 25-26 was pretty bad. The Rangers were not playing all too well. They were losing a bunch of games, and a lot of folks were saying, hey, Panarin's washed. And he's going to want a whole bunch of money in his next deal, right? No hometown discount for Artemi Panarin. He wants to get the bag. And at 35 years old, 34, when he's going to have to renew his contract. But, ever since then, Panarin has been very good. He is a point per game again on the year, 81-point projection, and he's gotten himself very good numbers ever since the little hiccup to start out the year. But let's go over on an article posted by Dave Lippman on NHLTradeRumors.me. Zero doubt the Rangers will trade Artemi Panarin under specific circumstances. This article is great because it goes over some commentary made by Frank Saravalli. Let's go out there and read what the piece has to say. Despite a 5-goal outbreak against the Flyers on the weekend, the Rangers have been struggling to score.
Hometown Hotels is back to the holidays at White Sox. With extended rankings, the Rangers have questions and
That's to the Eastern Conference with just 97 goals scored this season in 38 games going into Tuesday's action. But their leading scorer, Artemi Panarin, might not be long for the Big Apple. According to the USA, he has had no extension talks since turning down a discounted offer from the Rangers back in the summer. And insider Frank Saravalli says Team Chris Drury will not sit on his hands at the trade deadline, depending on one important factor. Thanks to the New York Rangers, in mid-February, are on the outside looking in. As far as being a real contender, I have zero doubt that Chris Drury is going to pull the trigger.